Who are you?
Walter Coles.
What is Skeena Resources?
Skeena is an exploration company that's focused on a project in northwestern British Columbia.
Can you tell me something about the Spectrum property?
Spectrum is a post-discovery project. There was a historical resource of 240,000 ounces put together in the early 90s, and for a variety of reasons this project has laid dormant. We have just acquired the project in October of 2014 and have launched on a drilling program with the hope of putting together a couple million ounces of high-grade gold.
What's the work that you're undertaking right now?
Right now we have 2 drill rigs operating on the project, and we should have assay results coming out here in a couple weeks and a steady stream of results over the next 6 months. And if the results are encouraging, we'll probably add a 3rd rig to the project.
I understand you're in northern British Columbia where your chairman has some experience.
Yes, Ron's had some great fortune up in the Golden Triangle region of northwest BC. His first sort of big project up there was called the Snip mine, which produced 1 million ounces at about an ounce per ton. It's held by Barrick today. The other big success was something called Eskay Creek, and Eskay Creek produced until I think 2004, 2005, but the grades were truly exceptional. Produced 3.5 million tons with an average grade of 49 grams per ton gold, and I think it was close to 2,600 grams per ton silver. So probably one of the highest grade mines ever put into production in Canada. And both of those historical mines are located very close to where we're exploring today, and hoping the 3rd time will be a charm.
You have some interesting neighbors right now as well, which would also be Pretium and also Imperial.
Yes, the Imperial mine, which just started production a couple months ago, is about 40 kilometers to the east of where we're exploring today. Pretium is more similar geologically to what we're exploring for right now at Spectrum. Again, very high-grade gold.
Can you tell me something about the First Nations or Tahltan in the area?
Well, we take those relations very seriously, and we are trying to work very closely with them to make sure this is a project that's viewed as a win for them as well as a win for the company.
Ron, your chairman, has had a long experience with mining. Could you talk about some of what he has done and also his involvement with Skeena?
Yeah, I think Ron had a consulting company based out of Calgary that for decades consulted to mining companies all over the world. He had his initial successes in the late 80s and early 90s in British Columbia, and then when the NDP were elected, he decided that was 92 or 93. He decided to leave British Columbia. He went to Africa. He worked there for a number of years. He also worked in South America. His 2 most recent successes were the Brett Resources. He was chairman of Brett. It was sold to a Cisco in 2010 for over $500 million. Viceroy Exploration was the company before that, which was sold to Humana, again for a huge number. And we're hoping Skeena will be the next, I shouldn't say the 3rd, because Ron's had many more than 3, but we hope that Skeena will be the next big success.
And your background is in the finance analysis side.
Yes, so I think Ron and myself and some of the others, we put together a really good team where people have different skill sets, different expertise. I bring the financing expertise to the table, and it's feeling like it's a formula that's working. We are able to raise money when most of the companies in the junior exploration space cannot. And with those funds, we're able to go out and drill. And the only way you have an exploration discovery is you got to have drill rigs turning.
You have an aggressive drill program up there running right now for the season, and then what are the milestones after you complete the drill season?
Well, this is a multi-year project. We are limited by the winter storms that come in. So last year we were able to drill until basically the beginning of November. The goal this year is to put together a resource, probably come out in January of 2016, and then the next year we'll work to grow that resource to a larger a larger amount. As I mentioned, our goal is 2 to 3 million ounces. We hope we can maintain this 10 to 12 grams per ton in sort of grade, average grade for the deposit that we put together, and then we'll take it through PEA and pre-feasibility. Our plan is not to try to build the mine. We think our expertise is finding deposits and then vending them to teams that have an expertise in building mines and operating them.
Thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure.